I'll say things like, well, okay, they're starting to record now, so I'm going to click on the screen. And we can get started. So we'll start with some tapping. I'm going to tap lightly on the sternum. We'll go down and do the rib cage. Come back up the sternum again. Go under the collarbone. Now we're going to take the hands like this and go right down the head. We'll go to the base of the skull. We'll do that 3 times, right across the temples, above the ears. Now we'll go down the middle again. And we'll do that one more time. And we're going to tap lightly on the head. And we'll tap the base of the skull. And this is very widely practiced. We'll come down the shoulders. We'll do the one shoulder. And it works on the surface chi, the protective layer of chi in the body. Go down the side. And you'll see people, all different ways of doing this exercise. We're following the yin and yang meridians. Some people go the opposite way. They say that wakes them up more, but I like just to go with the flow. Okay, now we're going to bring the index fingers along the collarbone, and we're going to come to the end of the collarbone and come down a little bit. And there's a hollow area there, kidney 27. And now we're going to start working on a pressure point. And if you're not sure of where it is there, you're kind of wondering, you can take your hands like beak hands like this, and you can tap in that area, and you'll be sure to hit it then, because then you'll know you're on it. Now we're going to tap down the sternum again. Tap the belly. And we'll go around to the kidney area, around behind, back here, and tap that very lightly. Kidneys like gentle treatment. And then we're going to tap down the outside of the legs, up the inside, and go around to the kidneys again. And we'll go down the legs. Side. And we'll do the kidneys one more time. Now we're going to roll the shoulders, and kind of let the arms open up and roll the shoulder blades. And we'll rotate the arms in the other direction. And now we're going to do the Aprocade. And that is, of course, a very famous set of exercises. And I was showing it to some yoga people who came to class yesterday. And I said, I was talking to them, and I could tell the light stretching that we do just didn't make any sense to them. They're like, no, I like the stretching. I'm like, well, I finally said, just humor me. Try the light stretching. And one woman came up to me after class and she said, my hands are just buzzing with energy from doing this. She couldn't believe it. She'd been doing yoga for years. Yoga is very good. It does very good things for you. This does something different. So if you want to try it and you say, well, I don't know, when I do yoga, I do a big full stretch. Well, this is Qigong. So give it a try, see how you like it. So we kind of had some fun with that. It was very, very nice to see somebody have a whole new experience. Especially somebody who's been doing something like this for years. So we're going to raise the heavens with both hands. And this is a great way to start. And now we're going to step out in the horse stance, a little wider stance, a little wider than shoulders width. We're going to point the tailbone down to the floor. We're going to bring the left hand in front. We're going to draw the bow to the left. And now we're going to draw to the right. Do that again. And we'll come back. Now this is the nice light stretch we're going to do. Keep the elbow bent. We're going to press toward heaven and earth. And we'll do one more. Now we're going to put the left hand in front of the front and in front of the right. And we're going to let the hands go down and away from the body and turn 70%. Look over the shoulder. Come back to center. Do that again. And we'll do one more. Just going to press down lightly. Now for number 5, we're going to go back to the horse stance, flatten the lower back, so you just tilt the hips a little bit. And we're going to just have a nice light stretch up the side of the body. Go to the other side. Come to center, shift the weight. Let the head go nice and loose. Do that one more time. Now we're going to fold here and look between the legs. Come up. Raise the chin. We're going to stretch the front of the spine. And we'll do that again, bending the trunk. Look between the legs. Push up. Raise the chin. And we'll do it one more time. Now we'll do just the neck. We'll go ear to shoulder, other side. Now we're going to tuck the chin and raise the back of the head. And raise the chin. Do that again. And we'll do one more. Now to raise the back of the head, here's something that I just learned. You can take the two middle fingers, put them right in the center of the forehead. Take the flat of the hand across the back of the head and just lift the back of the head a little bit. So if you press the forehead and lift the back, that can be very relaxing. Oh, good, good. Glad you like it. Okay. And that's the lift that we're looking for. The neck comes up just a little bit. There are people who've been doing, there's a monk who does it online. When his neck goes up, you can see it. It looks like a giraffe. His neck just goes up and up. With mine, this camera angle, you can just barely see. I don't know if you know, you really can't see it moving at all. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Now we're going to do number 6, which is a narrower stance. We bring the feet back in. I'm going to do a nice, like it's like washing, just wash down the body. Hands go to the hips, reach toward the floor. Hands go around the toes, up the inside of the legs, around the belt. And I'm going to lightly arch the back. Stretch the front of the spine. And now we'll do that again. We'll reach toward the toes. And come up. Arch the back. We'll do that one more time. Now we're opening up the major acupuncture meridians in the body, and there's one more that we get. We go into the horse stance again. We make 2 loose fists. Now this meridian starts under the eye and comes out to the fingertip. So when we do this move, it's not martial arts. We're actually working on that meridian. So waking up that meridian, we're going to turn to the left. I'm going to do that spiral punch twice. We'll come to the center. And you want the eyes to be very alert. So you want the sharp look, fixed gaze. They call it dragon eyes, very intense. Do that one more time. Last one. The last one is raising the heels. It's good for the immune system, good for the lymphatic system. Just come up on the toes a little bit and drop. And you want everything to be nice and loose. This kind of settles everything down, just like you're sifting flour or something. You shake it a little bit, and that wraps up everything that we've been doing. Good. Now, we're going to go in the bow stance, one foot forward, the other foot back, and you want to look between the legs. You want to see that there's a little space there about the width of your hand. We're going to put the hands by the hips. So we're going to shift the weight comfortably back and forth. So we're shifting forward, keeping the spine vertical. Okay, now shifting forward, the hands come up. Turn the palms, shifting back. Do that again. More. And we'll put the other foot forward. In a nice comfortable stance again. Hands by the hips. And we'll begin. Hands come up. One more. Now we're going to do some 5-element Qigong. You want to have your feet comfortably under the body, nice solid stance. Your feet can be hip width or shoulder width, whichever feels about right to you. You want to lock the knees and unlock the knees. Just sort of lock them and unlock them. And somewhere in there, you'll find a nice spot where you feel nice and comfortable. You don't want the knees locked at all. You just want a little bend in the knees. You want to feel the feet flat on the floor, hips relaxed. You want to move the arms a little bit, and that loosens up the shoulders. Actually, the chest can hollow a little bit. The back opens up in the back there. And then just let the hands be comfortable by your sides. If you can keep the armpits open a little bit, that's good. And you want your head to feel like it's floating, like there's a string pulling your head up. And let the tongue rest lightly on the roof of the mouth, just behind the teeth. That's an important connection. Then we just want to breathe naturally. This is the ABCs of standing. This is the alignment part. That's the A, alignment. The B is breathing. You want to breathe down into the belly. And if your alignments are good, if you're lined up and your shoulders are relaxed, it's much easier for your breath to sink down into the belly. When the breath sinks down into the belly, it's easier to clear the mind because your mind can just follow the breath. So that's the ABCs: alignment, breathing, and clearing. Now we're going to have the hands come up, right up the central channel, and we're going to point the fingers towards the ceiling. Bring the hands back down. You want the palms just below the navel, out away from the body, about the width of at least the width of a fist or your head, and a nice oval, open shape with the arms, nice and relaxed. I have a very odd phone. I know I shut that thing off, the volume. I went over it twice, and there are calls that still come through somehow. I don't know how it happens. So anyway, that's the earth position. Now we're going to bring the hands up the central channel again. And we're going to soften the palms. So you want to relate the palms one to another. You want the hands to be nice and soft. And we're going to open and close. Open and close. And then the hands go back to the earth position. For the water element, we're just going to sink down and then come up. Sink down again. Up. One more time. Come up, bring the hands up. Back to earth. And breathe naturally. Now for the wood element, we're going to turn the palms up and bring the hands up about shoulder height and back down. If your legs are feeling a little tired, you can sink down and come up. Sinking down again. One more time. Now the hands come up the central channel again. Back to earth. Take a nice, relaxing breath. Breathe into the belly, let the belly move. Now we're going to bring the hands over to the side channel. And with the palms lined up, you want to be aware of your palms, and we're going to open vertically and close. Open. That one more time. Shift the hands over to the other side. Soften the hands, open up. Good. Hands come up again. Back to the center. This is the earth. And we'll let the hands come to the sides. And this is back to the beginning. Muji posture. I'm going to stay in that nice calm place. I'm going to widen the stance a little wider than the shoulders. Flatten the lower back, point the tailbone to the floor. We're going to shift the weight from side to side. And you have your tailbone pointed, and you want to point the tailbone to each ankle from side to side. Okay. And we're going to bring the hands up the central channel. I'm going to bring the hands up one at a time. We're just going to have the hands come up. Okay. And we're going to shift the weight. I'm shifting the weight to this leg. And as I sink down into this leg, I'm going to do a little turn. Keep the hips and shoulders lined up. So there's a little turn, and then the hand comes up, hand comes back down to center, shift the weight over, turn, bring the other hand up. We're still going up and down the central channel, but we're doing a turn. We're turning the hips. And we'll do one more. Now we're going to do the preparation for Dragon Tiger. Bring the palms forward. This is a very simple exercise. Just turning the hands, moving the hands back and forth. As we bring the hands back, we're shifting the weight back to the heels. Bring the hands forward, shifting the weight to the toes. So we're going heels and toes. And when you're nice and steady there, you can sink into the heels and you can rise just a little bit on the toes. The thing you want to do is coordinate the movement of the hands with the feet. Okay. Now, for Dragon Tiger 1, we're going to bring the hands up and down the side channels. So this is basically from the shoulders nest here to the quad, which is right in the inguinal fold where the legs meet the torso. So we're going to bring the hands up the side channels and we're going to bring them down. You want to feel like there's magnets sliding up and down. You want to be aware of your palms. Okay, now the energy channel is coming up, down to the quad, over to the hip, and then around the toe, so that you're directing your awareness under the foot, up the leg to the quad again, and then bringing it up, sending it back down, around the foot, up the inside of the leg, back down. Same thing with the other hand. You're coming up the inside of the leg, up about shoulder height, back down, over to the hip, around the toe, up. Okay, that's Dragon Tiger 1. That's Dragon meets Tiger. That's your chi balancing exercise. We opened up the meridians doing the Aprocade, got the chi moving between the lower and upper half of the body doing cloud hands, and now we're going to balance that out, and we're going to bring one hand up, press down into the heel, other hand comes up, pressing down, and we're going to press down, and the other foot, the knee comes forward and the heel comes up. So foot goes down, other hand, heel comes up. So you're pressing into the heel on one side and lifting the heel on the other side. Now, when you bring the arm up, bring the elbow out a little bit. Okay, that opens up the armpit. Good. And keep the hands nice and soft. And we'll do one more. Okay. Would you like to do Dragon Tiger 3? That's the one where you do the leg out. Want to try that one? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not in the book, but we're bringing the hands around the belt channel. So you want the palms lined up just below the belly button, just below the navel. It's like we're going to push the air around the back, past the kidneys, connecting to the spine, bringing the hands back. And then we're very deliberately taking our hands and moving down the hip and the inside of the leg. We're down to into the foot, right below the foot. Then you come back up, come back to center, go around the belt channel again. Bring the hands to the center. Now we're going to fold here, folding at the quad, keeping the back relatively straight. The back is just bending a little bit. We're not rounding the back. And come up. And the hands go down just as far as you're comfortable. You want to maintain your balance. You don't, no need to push. And we'll do one more. Now we'll put the other foot forward. And we're going to settle into a nice, comfortable shifting back and forth a little bit. I'm going to go around, connect to the spine, hands back to the center, down the hip, down the inside of the leg, come back up. And we'll do one more. Number 4, we're moving the shoulder blades, moving the shoulder blade in towards the spine and moving the other shoulder blade out. So one shoulder blade pushes in, the other pushes out. Good. Good. Now, once you think you're starting to get that, you don't have to make a big movement. All right. And it's good that you keep your shoulders relaxed. Keep the shoulders down. Just make sure that's nice and relaxed. Your neck's nice and relaxed. The movement can be very small. If this is your shoulder blades, they're just moving away from the spine and toward the spine, just a little bit. So just imagine that's your shoulder blade moving out, at your shoulder, and then coming back in. So it's coming out a little, coming in a little. And this is for opening the heart. Now it's good for the heart physically. It's also good for the emotions. It's good for letting things go. It's a wonderful exercise. I'm going to see what it looks like with this camera angle. It's going to be interesting. So we're going to have the hands go out the side channels, gather in this hand. Okay, and we're going to release with this hand. We're just going to let go. So there's a nice opening here, right? With these meridians coming right at the, and if you open like that, you'll feel a light stretch there, and you're releasing. So you're gathering in on one hand and releasing with the other. And with the eyes. Okay, as soon as you know how to do it, don't watch me. Watch the hand that's releasing, okay? If you're releasing, you can shift the weight a little. And you can come up, raise the heel on the back foot just a little. It's really not, that's not the emphasis here. The emphasis, want to focus on softening the eyes, let your gaze be nice and soft, and watch the hand that's releasing. And we'll do one more. Yeah, hands come back, down the side channels. Now, this time we're going to push past the kidneys again to connect to the spine, bringing the hands back. Now we're using beak hands to pulling around like this. We're coming up the inside of the legs. Okay, we're gathering and just gonna release that. That looks great on the camera. There's a little delay, so it just, everybody, when you do it, it just looks great. That's technology for you. Okay, so we're gonna begin now. Hands go around, make that connection, come back, center, come up, and nice light drop, very good. Just one more to go. So that wraps up the Dragon Tiger portion. That's 4 out of the 7 moves. And we added an extra one in there, number 3. So, and that's very good for the knees and hips. Now, we can do some circling hands. We've got some time. We can also, when you get all that energy moving, it's nice to have something to do with that energy. So let's do some cloud wave hands like clouds. This is different than cloud hands. We're going to turn the palm out, left hand, and we're going to turn to the left, and the eyes follow. Look at your fingertips, and the hand comes down, turn back to center, hand comes up, turn to the left, hand goes down. Now, we're going to raise the right hand, turn to the right. Again, we're keeping the hips and shoulders lined up, so we're not twisting the spine, okay? And raise the left hand, turn to the left, change hands, turn to the right. Change hands again, left, change hands, turn to the right. Now you can smooth that out a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to work on the lower hand. The lower hand will help you with the upper hand. If you have your hands here, basically the hands are just skimming. It's like you're standing in a pool of water and the hands are just skimming on the surface of the water. But if you watch how this works, if you stand with your hands like this and you turn the hips, the hands don't really move. Come back to center, turn the other way. The hands aren't moving. So if you shift the weight and turn, you almost get the illusion that my hands are moving. But they're not. They're holding their position. Okay. It's very, yeah, there you go. Judith, it almost looks like you're enjoying yourself there.
I am.
I don't know if you're supposed to do that. I think it's okay. We'll do it today. You go ahead and have a good time. But it's a nice movement. Now, we're going to get ready. We're going to shift the weight to the right, and we're going to bring the left hand up. And you want to do the same thing with the upper hand now. You're not really moving it. You're just turning. See how that works? You're just turning. Yep. And then the hand comes down. Yeah, turn, and left hand comes down, right hand comes up. Now you turn back the other way. Oh, you got it. You've got it the first time. See, there you go. And little by little, you learn this movement. It looks so easy. It looks so simple, I should say. It's not easy. What you're doing is you're trying to watch me and interpret my movements and then do it yourself. And your hands want to go all over the place. But let's start again with the left hand up. Turn to the left. Left hand goes down, right hand comes up. Turn back. Right hand goes down, left hand goes up. So bring the left hand up and turn. Change hands. Now we'll do one more. And now we're going to bring the hands up, right up the central channel. And we're just going to check the chi meter here. I'm going to open and close. And you can try this. Try softening the palms, having the palms nice and soft. Kind of like you want to, it's hard to see with this angle, but you're kind of opening and hollowing the palm. So you're hollowing the palm and you're opening it up. So that's a nice movement that we're doing here. And that can help you to feel your energy. So some people can feel like there's two magnets pushing against each other as they do that, a very light feeling. You can feel like the air is getting thicker between your hands. If you don't feel anything, don't worry about it. This is a nice movement in itself. Some people feel more if they put their hands down lower. Some people like right above the heart level. Some people more down by the belly. Mine's right about there, just about heart level. Now, another way to feel the energy is to move your hands like almost like a bicycle motion. You start with a nice wide movement and then gradually bring your hands in smaller and smaller circles. And you may feel your fingertips start tingling up or getting warmer. You may also feel the center of your palm. That feeling gets stronger. Now I say that, but this was the last thing I ever, when my teacher was showing me this, I was like, oh, if you say so, okay, but I don't feel a thing. That went on for a long time. And then gradually, you would say, well, just be patient, bring your hands out like this, and then bring the circles, make the circles smaller, and you start to feel something. Now, some people feel it across the middle part of the finger. Some people feel it in the fingertips. It's not a It's not a big thing, but it will encourage you. If you start to feel your energy, you open and close, you feel that energy, you start to get a feeling that there's something going on there. Now, if you're not feeling it, you're usually working things out. You're learning to relax, you're learning to relax the nerves and the meridians and the fascia, and it'll all happen all in good time. In the meantime, you don't have to worry about it, you don't have to fuss about it, just let it happen. The more relaxed you are, the easier it is. So I know one person told a great story. She's an instructor and she wanted to feel her chi so bad. She was focusing on it. She would open and close and she'd say, where's that chi? Where's that chi? It took her 3 years. And she went to she was teaching a class and there were 10 women who came to the class and they weren't wearing the right clothes to do Tai Chi. So she said, we're just going to sit down. We're going to do some of this. And the women started talking to each other and say, did you feel that? 6 out of the 10 women, 6 out of the 10 women could feel their chi, the first class. They weren't even wearing, they were wearing tight fitting clothes and medium-sized high heels. They couldn't do anything. So she just had them sitting. So she goes to her teacher and she says, Sifu, she says, I've been trying for 3 years to feel my chi. And these women show up in these pencil skirts and heels and they felt their 6 of them on the first day. He said, you were trying too hard. So she just said, oh, forget it. And then after that, she could feel it, and she's been telling that story ever since. Great story. So teachers, a lot of times teachers have a lot to learn too. We learn from our students. So it's been great doing this. Let's finish up with some circling hands. And in circling hands, I'm just trying to get the right angle here. Circling hands is a vertical circle. And there's a little bend and stretch, but the first thing you want to learn is just making a smooth circle with the hands. You don't want there to be any spots where your hands start or stop, or rough spots in the circle. Nice and smooth. And then you want your breathing to be nice and smooth also. Nice, smooth breathing. Sometimes when people are learning something new, they have a tendency to hold the breath. You don't want to hold the breath. Keep the breath moving. You want to have the hands just wider than the ears, so you're on the central channels. Okay, now we're going to come to the back of the circle and we'll go in reverse, go the other direction. One more. Okay. Now we're going to have widen up the stance a little bit. Now this isn't the bow stance, it's just one foot a little bit forward, the other foot a little back. We're going to put the weight on the back foot and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to turn the hips. So the hands aren't really moving much. We're just turning the hips, turning like this, and then the hands come down in that circular fashion. And we shift the weight back and the hands come up. Okay, so trying not to twist the spine. We're turning at the hips. We'll do one more. Come to the back of the circle. And we'll put the other foot forward. Shift the weight to the back leg here. Bring the hands up and we'll begin. And we'll do one more. And that about wraps it up. Now we're just going to do our closing. We're going to wash right down the body, let the tension, let anything go, any tight spots. Just a nice smooth movement of the hands. Do one more. Very good. Thank you for being here today. It was very nice doing this. Any questions?
Joe?
Okay, we're all set.